Going on another walk today. It's a little bit later in the day because it's cool. It's real cold. If you want to know a little bit about weather in North Carolina, know that we are not consistent at all. It'll be swelteringly hot and then freezing cold the next day. I've worn shorts all weekend, and now today I had to put on a jacket. Now I did choose to not wear a thick jacket. I'm wearing a windbreaker, so it's a little bit better today. But we'll see if anybody shows up at the lunchtime hour. Last time we streamed in the morning, and I thought we had a great turnout on live. So there's a chance maybe there were more people that tuned in because of the fact that it was bright and early and they were just getting into the office, whereas today we're pretty well settled into work by this point, aren't we? So maybe. Welcome in GS81. Hello, good to see ya. I don't know how to pronounce that one. Welcome in A7 is what I'm going to say until I hear otherwise. Glad that y'all are here hanging out with us this morning. Or this afternoon, I guess. Depending on where you are, it could be any time of day, right? 5 o'clock somewhere situation. It's so funny. How have you been doing? I've been doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Just got done with lunch on my walk this afternoon. Got my dog here with me. And trying to do a little better with exercise. We had a big weekend. Like I mentioned a moment ago, it was very pretty this weekend in North Carolina. And so we were able to get a lot of yard work done. Changed the oil on the lawnmower. Got everything sorted out. Sold off some back deck furniture, ready for more stuff. Good stuff. Didn't have a lot of time for video games, I'm afraid. Exactly how I pronounce it. Love that. What's up, Little Miss Lizzie? Welcome in. I am currently playing Unicorn Overlord. That's my video game right now. Still enjoying it. I think I have a nerdy sermon on it for this Sunday. We'll see. We will see. Why does the dog always go on the wrong side? That's what I want to know. Always on the wrong side. This is Junie. Oh, wait, maybe not. There we go. There we go. That's Junie. Junie. Hey, baby. She's a sweet dog. She loves walks. And she loves looking back at me. She hears me talking and she's like, who in the world are you talking to? My shoe is also untied, so I'm going to have to stop here before too long and tie my shoe. We had a great gathering last night. We did our DLC and talked about how time sucks. Have I considered that she is on the right side? What do you mean? She goes back and forth. She refuses to do one or the other. She don't play by no rules. Nary a one. Lizzie, did this get posted into the Discord? Did people see that this went live on the Discord? I still don't think I know how to ping people. And so, if anybody wanted to take the link and drop it in general, I wouldn't mind. Oh, I see. She's looking back at me like, why are you on that side? God of War. We do have a nerdy sermon on God of War Ragnarok, I want to say. I think we did one on Ragnarok. I don't think we did one on the 2019. Was it 2019? Love to see a sermon based off of Xenogears, even if it is quite taboo. Hey, look, I got no problem talking about taboo subjects, but I've never played Xenogears. That's one that I would love to play. If you wouldn't mind doing that, Little Miss Lizzie, that would be awesome. I appreciate that. I'm going to have to tie my shoe. This is driving me crazy. You ever walked with a shoe untied? It's very a bizarre feeling. You're sniffing the grass. Are you thinking about doing something? She might do something. Whoa. Oh, what are you doing? You just sniffing some water there? That's not water. It is a bit long. I'd recommend a story summary. It's very grindy. Sounds like a good Let's Play. I'd be down to watch a Let's Play of it. I don't necessarily mind crunchy games and the grindier games, but I just don't have time for them. The busier I've gotten and the more that gaming has become, if you wanted to, you could tag notification, or no, at chat you could tag at chat, but it might not let you since you're not a guardian. Depends on how Discord works. I can't remember. But yeah, I definitely don't mind crunchy games. Unicorn Overlord is definitely pretty crunchy. I'm worried that with Stardew dropping tomorrow, that everything's going to change. Taylor says, do you like playing mainline Pokemon games? New to the channel? Welcome in, new to the channel. We're glad that you're here. Yes, I love Pokemon games. I love them so much. I am not a hater, even of the new games. I've been playing since the OG. My personal favorite is probably currently Arceus. I really like Arceus. But I used to say that Emerald was my number one. But somewhere, a dance between Emerald, Fire Red, and now Arceus. Those are in my top slots. If so, I played Cassette Beast. We played that last year. Really loved how you made me feel. Good. Yeah, I really liked the story and what they were going for. A little bit bolder of a thing. I was curious about it. What's up, Mavelai? I see those eyes. Chrisman says, I appreciate your willingness to give it a shot. It was a game that legit caused American translators to quit due to its taboo. I'm so curious. Now, it's no relation to Xenoblade, is it? The Xeno is all I can recognize there. Battle Frontier. That's it. I barely have the audio up because of work, but hi. You can be in the chat. All right, I'm going to have to tie my shoe. I can't handle it any longer. So you guys are going to look at the sky for just a moment. Everybody enjoy the clouds. Tell me if you see any fun shapes. I am still here. I don't know why I felt the need to get completely quiet. Okay. You see a Nate-shaped cloud? It's me. I'm in the sky. Nate in the sky with diamonds. Let's see. Xenoblade is a spiritual successor, but you have not played it. Now, I've played Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and 3. I've never played the very first one, but I should. Have you played any of the, have you followed any of the issues of localizations and them inputting their views into things? I have not. Tell me more. Laces do require focus. Oh, a cloud-shaped cloud? That's crazy. That's wild. Christ, girl. I actually have never been good at that game. Like, as much as I respect and I appreciate the storytelling motif of finding shapes in the clouds, I don't see them. I'm a creative person, but I can't see shapes in the clouds. I have not played Ultra Kill or seen anything about it. My latest thoughts on localization have to do with AI. Should I look into Ultra Kill? It sounds intense. Sounds like if maybe All Might decided to go on a murder purge. Did you guys hear about not James Gunn, Zack Snyder talking about how DC needs to let Batman kill and how they don't understand why they can't let Batman kill? I'm like, well, clearly you don't get it. You don't understand the character here. I'm not even a Zack Snyder hater, and I hated that a lot. The Final Fight theme is legit titled One Who Bears Fangs of God. I think you can see why it was taboo. Ooh! Now look, I respect it. I think most JRPGs love killing God. And even as a pastor, I respect the effort and the hustle, and I think that sometimes there are probably some idolic gods that we should kill. It's a good commentary, a good social and political commentary. My mind went to the 80s and 90s JRPG weird localization. Speaking of localization in those kind of games, I really want to play Moon. Has anybody ever played Moon before? It's a game that supposedly inspired Undertale, and they wound up bringing it to the States, and I still haven't played it. Okay, I'm guessing this is Ultra Kill. You play as V1. combat machine fueled by Bloods, who has ventured into the depths of hell after the extinction of humanity. Hell abounds with demons and tormented souls, sources of blood that you must rend apart in order to refill yourself and to survive. So it's kind of like, it's like if Has-Been were a Soulsborne. I'm here for it. Has-Been my Miyazaki. I have to hop back off, but wanted to ask, will these live walk and talks be at certain times? Just pop on. I got enough scheduled things. I'm sorry, Tiki Loves. I got so many. If you want more of our scheduled things, every other Sunday over on Twitch, Tuesday nights for Twig, Friday mornings for just kind of general hangouts at the office. But the walk and talks, I think, have got to just be sporadic. Because sometimes it's cold like today. And so I didn't want to come out to the sun and have a little bit of time to warm things up. Well, essentially, overseas content such as games, shows, etc. are having localizations and or translators inserting content that wasn't there, or views that weren't intended. Okay, Twyla knows it, Moon RPG. Deus or Yeha in that game is actually a super weapon from space. Neat. Action Button had a hand in translating that one, if I recall correctly. I got partially in, but should go back. Yeah, I own it. I own it. I've had it on the backlog forever. I really enjoyed playing with the Play-Doh clay at DLC last night. I played with it for the rest of the night. I love that. That was a fun little idea. I want to try to come up with things to put in the checkbox that are more entertaining like that and actually a part of DLC. Stop looking back at me. Why are you looking at me? Why are you looking at me? You just want some attention? Are you tired? I know you aren't tired. Sorry I missed DLC. I fell asleep. You're all good, Mayfly. We missed you, but I'm glad you got some rest. A lot of Japanese history, talking about Moon, or just localization issues. Yes, I agree, Twyla. I think that resting was an appropriate parallel use of that time. The PowerPoint has been posted, so you can look through it if you're curious. Japanese history behind JRPGs featuring gods to fight. Yes. So I don't want to spoil too much of the actual details of the experience, but the potential second game for Ludogood is not about this. It's a game about God, but not at all. You just got it today, Mayfly? I'm frustrated by that, because everybody was supposed to get them by Thursday at the latest. Bleach said he didn't get his either. Play-Doh was fantastic, I agree. Moon channel video? Different Moon, but I do like Moon. I was talking about the game. I still haven't caught on Moon's second of the Korean gacha situation. I watched the first one. Okay, a day or two. That would have been before DLC. But still, it should have been last Thursday. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. I continue to find it so interesting that we streamed on YouTube and would get like 1 or 2 live viewers. And then all of a sudden, like, we do these walk and talks and it's like 12 people watching right now. Like, that's baffling. That's baffling. Love Moon Channel's deep dives. Caught me by surprise. He is Presbyterian too. Yeah, I think every now and again he'll get some alludes to his faith. You know, I think he tries to keep it out of there. I also don't know if he uses he, him pronouns, so that may be talking out of my mouth there as well. Okay, Sen says, I have a question. I'm recently trying to become more in touch with my spirituality. Call myself Christian, but never really practiced. However, I'm worried that things I love are seen as not allowed. Well, there's a lot I could say about that. If you haven't watched our Can Christians Watch Anime video, that's always where I recommend starting, because I pretty much cycle through those 3 debates that I have. My big core belief is that I believe that Christianity is focused around a creator God. And I believe that we're made in the image of God, or the Imago Dei. And I think that an element of the Imago Dei is creativity itself. And so I think that even if something is not created with God in mind, and sometimes especially because it isn't created with God in mind, Because humans, right, weren't necessarily made with God in mind, but instead the human being, that which would be on the other side of the creation story. In order for God to say it was good, that must have been there was a potential for it to not go as well, but God did say this is good. And so I think that creativity in and of itself is worthy of being discerned and explored and appreciated. And so as creatives created by a creator, we ought to at least give the creation of art a chance to speak and point to God. And that's the summary. That's the quick one. But then there's other arguments that I can get into. Lizzie says, I was distracted by my dog, didn't see Twyla, said the same. Taylor says, a different moon. That one is heartbreaking. Sin continues, appropriate. I'm just wondering how you can manage to find God while playing games or anime so I don't need to feel as guilty. So, the way we do it is by exploring our 3 rules in the frame of comprehension with them. And so, seeking out, how does this help us to do good? How does this help us to do no harm? How does this help us to grow in our faith? Asking those questions as we're experiencing media can be a super helpful way to get started. I don't think it's the only way to discern media, but it's a helpful way for folks like you that are like, I don't even know how to get started, and I feel so guilty. I also want to affirm that I don't think the guilt is your fault, and I'm sorry that you feel guilty when you're consuming media. I think that is something that was foisted upon you and not a choice that you made. And so I'm sorry that the church has let you down there. In my opinion, these feel a lot lower commitment than a Twitch stream. Yeah, they definitely are for me. I'm just on my phone here. Thank the Lord for a pop socket, right? Because otherwise I'd have to be using a selfie stick and then people would be staring at me even more than they already are. Can Christians watch anime? Yep, I recommend. I recommend that video. That's a great place to get started of asking those questions and considering them pretty seriously. It is something that I take seriously. And I think sometimes people are like, oh, you just want to play video games. You just want to watch anime. I'm like, no. I know that I'm drawn to them for a reason. And I know that they're telling stories and they're an echo of creation. Twyla, how did you find an accurate emoji of me? That's a real picture. That's a real picture taken of my hand, my arm right now. It me. It that boy. Can Mayfly watch an anime is another question. The answer is evidently not. It's not that I don't want to, it's that my attention span is so short. Yeah, that is the trouble. One of these days we're going to get Mayfly into it. It's going to happen. You're going to watch anime. Everyone should be watching Freerun. If you like anime and you aren't watching Freerun, what are you even doing? What are you doing with your life right now? It's the best anime of 2024. I might go so far as to say it's the best anime of the 2020s so far. If not, one of the best anime of all time. I'll never forget the day someone at daycare told me I couldn't use my Digimon scooter because Pokemon was the devil. Gotta love growing up in America's Bible Belt. Yeah, they're also mixing franchises. What are they thinking? I mean, the Digidestined, right? We're already halfway to predestination. Digimon is practically Calvinist. In my opinion, those people tend to not realize how much media can be moving or not connected to what has moved them for some reason. I mean, it's the same people that argue that are like, but I would love to watch The Voice, right? That's a story. That's a story. We're telling the story that just happens to be tied to reality, but it is still just a story. We want to see a success. We want to see a winner. We want to see somebody rise above the ranks. So, go figure. Let's see. Little Miss Lizzie says, I used to watch anime. Get back into it, Lizzie. Join us. One of us. One of us. I took his old truck to the knee. Love it. Played my first Pokemon game in high school, senior year, Emerald. It is one of the best, if not the best. It's in competition. Constant competition with Fire Red and Arceus, as I mentioned earlier. Things I don't understand scary. Yep. Like TikTok, exactly. I've heard about it. It came out of nowhere, in my opinion. Plan to watch Free Rent. It did come out of nowhere, and I'm here for it. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. I don't think enough people know about it because of our nerdy sermons since we popped off. It has been one of the few that has still not shot up. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with Free Rent. People need to watch it. It's so good. I watched the latest episode today. My mind was just blown. They zigged when I thought they were going to zag. They just keep doing it. They can't stop doing it to them. This dog doesn't pant, and I don't understand. I don't understand how this dog just doesn't pant. Like, I'm out of breath. I'm working hard. And she's just looking at me. She's just absolutely not a thought in those eyes. So pumped to see it tomorrow night. Monday is Dungeon Meshi. Very nice. I have not watched the latest episode of Dungeons. I appreciate Japanese content because, in my opinion, it's more modest and conservative. Interesting. Nowadays, everything in the U.S. Feels it's about sex or pushing an agenda into games and shows. Such a sweet baby. I don't know if I agree with that or not, Sim. I think that the fan service of Japanese media is sometimes a bit much. But I don't think it's a competition either. I don't think it's a zero-sum situation. I think the more we're willing to explore it, the better off we'll be. Although there is an interesting, I think gaming is probably the more interesting argument of like, what's wrong? Are we not going? Okay. I think games are the more interesting conversation because of the rise of mature games for a while. Welcome in, Gobi Church. Dropping in during lunch to say hi, gotta run. Enjoy lunch. Whatever you're eating, hope it's wonderful. I've been watching Dungeon Meshi and Sign of Affection. Sign of Affection is so cute. It's so cute. I caught up with the dub today, so I have not gotten into the sub episodes of Sign of Affection, but I am in the dub. I think the dub is adorable, so I can't watch anything but the dub because I think the voice actors are the sweetest. Sign of Affection was top on your anime corner chart, if I recall correctly. I think it was third, but it may have been. It's definitely cute. Definitely cute, and I love to see accessibility being discussed in an anime forum, which I think we're getting another of those this year. Is that this year or next year? That they're doing the music game made by an entirely deaf game development crew. Do you know how long it took me to start Has Been, something I wanted to watch? Anime would have to work hard. I mean, we've been working on Mayfly for almost a year now, so I'm up for the challenge. I'm up for the challenge. Did you not hear about that, Twyla? Yeah, it was at the Game Awards last year, I want to say. It was teased, and I want more. I want to know more. That is true with the fan service thing. Yeah, I mean, I think that is some people's Achilles heel. It's not mine. That's why we were able to talk about my Dress Up Darling, but I was still super nervous to put a nerdy sermon about Dress Up Darling out there. But doggone it, it was just so good. I remember the first run of that one. We have an editor, and the first run of that one, Nikki sent me the first draft of the edit, and I dropped in and said, you know, normally I don't give them any notes. Normally I'm like, run with it. You did a great job. But this time I was like, I think we're going to have to censor at least 3 of the gifts you used because holy smokes. Marin, what are you doing? What are you doing? Me and my friends have been enjoying Helldivers 2, been a blast with friends. Yeah, we put out a TikTok about that, one of the clips from the nerdy sermon, and people are not happy about it. I'm getting a little bit of rage bait for some reason over on TikTok. I don't think YouTube has blown up quite as much, but it took off on TikTok and people are mad because of my take that I think the church should be more like Helldivers. And it's not even church people. It's so funny to me. I'm always going to make somebody angry, and it's just kind of figuring out who I'm going to make angry at a time that I can't figure out. coming. My friend got me watching Rascal Doesn't Dream last weekend with them for the movie upcoming. Has me curious to see dress up too, since that sounds like it dives in deep to cosplay. It's not the cosplay that I talk about in the nerdy sermon, but it's actually the attention to hobby culture and the passion that we have for the things that drive us. Welcome in, Angelo Otaku. Hope you're doing well. Coming in here on the tail end. I've got about another 5 minutes. Should have brought water with me. Wish I had. Didn't. Regretting it. But here we are. It's more the allergies than anything else. Not helping that I didn't take a puff of my inhaler this morning. I have an albuterol inhaler that I start every morning with, typically 2 pumps. Works out well, holds me off for the rest of the day. I attribute the fan servicey thing to the state of declining population, decline of birth rates in Japan. Makes sense they would feature that. Could be. Could be an element of that. Could just be a difference of culture. Could be a little column A, little column B. I mean, yeah, you can certainly look back to, like, speaking of Akira Toriyama, rest in peace, but you can look back to his Dragon Ball stories, right? I mean, Bulma's there for a reason, you know what I'm saying? It's because the name of the game has hell in it, I'm assuming, but the game has nothing to do with it. So that's definitely one reaction that people have had, but this TikTok in particular was because I told people that I think the church should learn from Helldivers, and people don't want to be told to go to church, and that's fair. I wasn't really telling them to go to church. I was telling the church to step up, but they misunderstood, which is on me. The fan servicey stuff has been around for what feels like my whole life, which is a non-insignificant amount of time. Yeah, it's definitely been around. Toriyama, yep, still amazed you ref Dr. Slump. Well, Dr. Slump is about more than just its fan service elements, but yeah. It surprised me. They shipped Toriyama Manga Theater, his collection of all his unpublished stuff, in Manga Spice Cafe. And I was like, huh, okay. Bold of you to send that to something that I assume children subscribe to, but, you know, maybe not. Oh, not for the fan service, got you. Well, I definitely love it, really. It's good stuff. As a deep cut. Well, it also had some questionable content. Yeah, that's all I'll say about that. Oh, now the shows can incorporate real life birth rate decline as an excuse. Yeah, maybe as an excuse, or again, I think it could just be a cultural thing. Could just be a difference. I mean, come on. You don't have to watch an HBO show for long to see that it's really no different. We have fan service in American culture too. Are you talking Sandland? Sandland's about to come out. That's a game that's coming out before too long. I didn't know there was a Dr. Slump game. I know that Arelli was in the first, oh gosh, was it Budokai Tenkaichi? It wasn't the Budokai series, but I think she might have been an unlockable character in the first Tenkaichi. Good stuff. Oh, Dragon Ball. Now we're going to do one more lap. One more lap. And then we're going to call it. For PS1? Maybe I'm wrong then. I'm so curious about that now. What could the game even be about? What would you be doing? What would you be doing? An action RPG? What on earth? PS1 really do be built different, dude. Really do. Some bonkers games. I'm surprised Sandland is coming out now. I still don't really understand how that's happening. Like they were like, all right, is it time to make the next Dragon Quest? Nah, no Dragon Quest. Let's make Sandland instead. One of his very short one-offs that nobody ever read. Let's do that one again. I mean, I'm down. I'm down. I love the cel-shaded manga style, and I'll always celebrate it. But it is funny. You doing good, baby? Do you want to say hello? don't know why I clicked that button. I gotta click it twice. Junie? Junie, you gonna say hello? Hey, baby. She's a good dog. She does drive me crazy, though. All dogs drive me crazy. So she's got some depigmentation happening on her nose. And I learned that's just a thing that happens to some dogs over the cold months. Blows my mind. I've been enjoying the new Final Fantasy VII Remake. If you haven't played it yet, I have not played it. It'll be on the backlog for quite a while. FF7 is not a part of my childhood. I respect it for what it is, but FF10 will always be my favorite Final Fantasy. And so, just for nostalgia alone. So FF7 doesn't quite hold the grips in my attention. But I have been enjoying the conversations around it and the narrative around it and the changes that it's made. I haven't had a whole lot spoiled in the back nine of the game, so I'm curious to find out more about it. The more you know, talking about FFX, I love it so much. I'll make fun of Titus until the day that I die, but I love that game so much. I still need to cut that clip from Kobe Church's Twig episode where I do the ha 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 ha. What's you, baby? You following that dog? Can I pet that dog? My dog is the dog that would ask, can I pet that dog? How good at blitzball were you? I was the blitzball player that played exactly good enough to get past that awful game. That's where I was. I was the one that was like, please take me back to the story away from this minigame. I beg of you. That's actually my relationship to all Final Fantasy minigames. I don't think I've ever had one that I've enjoyed playing. Now, Legend of Zelda minigames, we can talk about that. I'm down for some Legend of Zelda minigames. Breaking up the story in Final Fantasy, I loathe it. FF7 Remake is kind of to me, but the newest one is good. I did see what they did to Moogles, and I think that's that's going to be memed into oblivion, which, you know, I respect. I respect the meme. Remake was the first, Rebirth the second, right? Which I have already had all of the beats of Rebirth spoiled for me at this point. Are you going potty? What are you doing, baby? She is smelling something. The only real memory I have of a Final Fantasy game was a game on the Wii Shop called My Life is King or something, and I loved that. Interesting. Yeah, you're going to have to look up the FF7 Rebirth Moogle. It's devastating. All right. Well, we are on the back half of this lap, and so I'm going to wrap up for today. Thanks for being a part of this. Thanks for tuning in to our random YouTube live streams and continuing supporting us here. If you haven't already, be sure to join our Discord, discord.gg/checkpointchurch. I don't have things that are set up in here to ping that, but follow us on Twitch as well, twitch.tv/checkpointchurch. We'll be streaming Twig, talking about nerdy news tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, I think that's it. Thinking about posting a Let's Play today. We'll see. Might mess around and post a Let's Play. We'll find out. But we're Checkpoint Church. We believe three things to be true about every single one of you. Whether you believe in God, don't believe in God, go to church, don't go to church, hate God or hate church, we still believe in be true about every single one of you out there. Number one, that God loves you. Number two, we love you. We want community with you. That's what we're doing here. Number three, that you, yes, you matter. You are a person of sacred worth. The world is a better place. Why? Because you are in it. Folks, with that, until the next time that I see ya, whether that be on Twitch tomorrow night, Discord right now, or for the next random walk that I decide to do, I look forward to seeing you then. All right. Bye.